Malaysia's lockdown announcement caused some panic here, with residents wondering whether supply of food and essential items will be disrupted. This was before PM Lee's statement today that the flow of goods and cargo between the two neighbours will continue.
Following Malaysia's announcement, Monday night in Singapore saw queues at various local supermarkets, with shoppers snapping up food products and daily necessities. Trade and Industry Minister Chan Chun Sing said today that Singaporeans needn't be worried.
He assured that Singapore has made contingency plans for disruption of food supply from Malaysia and has more than 3 months' worth of stockpile if Singaporeans buy responsibly.
In a Facebook post, NTUC Secretary-General Ng Chee Meng also urged shoppers to remain calm, reminding them to buy only what they need. In response to the bout of panic buying, NTUC has set purchase limits on certain products, including paper products, rice, instant noodles and eggs.
Well, the outbreak is testing the resilience of Singapore's food security strategies. And to share more on this, we're joined by Science and Environment correspondent Audrey Tan. Audrey, Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong said earlier today that the flow of goods and cargo between Singapore and Malaysia, including food supplies, will continue. Do you foresee then that shoppers here will calm down?
Yes, I think we are all hopeful that the panic buying will calm down. Many of our colleagues who were at the supermarkets yesterday interviewing shoppers actually found that many shoppers had rushed to the supermarkets after they read the announcement from Malaysia. So now, with greater clarity from PM Lee that the supply of goods and food will not be affected, hopefully people will be more assured that what we have in Singapore is good enough and that no one here will go hungry.
Now, Audrey, this isn't the first time we've seen panic buying here. This time it's coming on the heels of Malaysia's announcement to restrict movement nationwide. What are the concerns of these panic shoppers?
So I think the concerns after the two different panic buying sprees were different. The first panic buying spree occurred in early February after Singapore announced that it will be stepping up its disease alert level from yellow to orange.
Right.
So at that point, a lot of people were snapping up non-perishables like toilet paper rolls, tissue paper and rice. But right now, what our colleagues saw, the photographers and journalists who were out yesterday saw a lot of people buying fresh produce like vegetables and also eggs and poultry. These are items that Singapore imports from Malaysia. And I think the first panic buying spree, people were probably worried that, they might be in quarantine and will not be able to go out and get food. Whereas this time round, the panic buying seems to be fueled by the fact that, all these items will not be available with Malaysia's announcement. But I think we can all rest assured now that this won't be the case.
Audrey, I'm just wondering, has Singapore's food imports from Malaysia been threatened before?
Yes, I think we need to face the fact that Singapore is a small island nation. We just have 720 square kilometers and only 1% of our land is actually set aside for agricultural reasons. But because of this, our government is very well aware of Singapore's vulnerabilities to any disruptions in the global food supply chain. So for years, we have worked to diversify our food strategies, and this has helped on a number of occasions. So for example, in 2004, the then Agri-Food and Veterinary Authority banned all poultry products from Malaysia because of an outbreak of avian flu H5N1. And in 2018, the Malaysian government also said that it would prevent the export of seafood out because of peak season and because the monsoon was also affecting yield there. So it is no surprise to us in Singapore that we will be affected by global food disruptions, whether it be things like climate change or geopolitical tensions, or even now with the outbreak of COVID. And so we have quite a robust food security strategy in place, which our politicians have constantly been highlighting now to try to calm people down.
Now, Minister Chan Chun Sing said Singapore has contingency plans. What are they, and are they enough to offset the disruption of our food supplies, not necessarily just from Malaysia?
Yes, so we have a multi-pronged approach to securing our food security. Right. So Minister Chan mentioned that stockpiling is one strategy where, Singapore has 3 months worth of supply of carbohydrates like rice and noodles if Singaporeans were to exercise restraint in what they buy and buy only what they need. But beyond that, we also have other food security strategies, and one of the major ones is food diversification. So we import more than 90% of our food, but we don't just import it from one country like Malaysia, even though it's the closest to us. We import from all around the region and also further afield, from as far as the United States or Africa. So I think altogether now we import from more than 170 countries and regions. And other than that, we are also trying to boost our local production. So just now I mentioned that only 1% of our land is set aside for agriculture. But from that 1% of land, we can grow about 10% of our own food. And the government wants to ramp this up to 30% by 2030 by investing in technology, by ramping up our production in certain areas in Singapore. So yeah, these are just some of the strategies that Singapore has to safeguard our food security.
Right. Well, thank you so much for sharing more with us. That was Science and Environment correspondent Audrey Tan. And please leave us a comment to share your thoughts on the panic buying situation in Singapore.